Okay, in today's video, we are going to solve grade 12 exam questions from May-June 2021 on financial mathematics. Okay, the question is from paper 1. It's question 7 from DBE. Okay, so this is the question 7 from May-June 2021 from DBE. Okay, you can see that the total is 13 marks. Okay, let's get started on the next slide. So let me get the question again. Question 7 from May-June 2021. Okay, this is the question that we are going to solve. Okay, question 7. We are going to start with 7.1. Okay, 7.1. An amount of 10,000 rand was invested for 4 years, earning interest at R% per annum, compounded quarterly. At the end of the 4 years, the total amount in the account was 13,080 rand. Determine the value of R. Okay, an amount of 10,000 is invested for 4 years, earning interest rate at R% per annum, compounded quarterly. At the end of the 4 years, the total amount in the account was 13,080 rand. Determine the value of R. Okay, whenever they are talking about investing or saving, or whenever you want to earn something on top of what you have invested, on top of what you have saved in the bank, these are the two formulae that should come to your mind. Okay, these two formulae should come to your mind. These two. Okay, now you have this and this. Which one are you going to use in this situation? You have to pay attention to this. Whenever an amount is deposited once off, okay, this is the formula that you have to use. This one, the first one. You can only use this one if you deposit an amount and after a regular period of time, you deposit another amount, okay? That is the only time you can use this formula. You can see when you read the problem, you can see that 10,000 is invested. Only once off, you can see 10,000 is deposited and left to grow for 4 years, okay? So you are going to use this, okay? So this is the formula to use, the first one. Now, P is the initial amount, which is 10,000, okay? P is equal to 10,000, okay? And the question is to find R. The value of A, the final amount, you can see the final amount at the end of the 4 years. This is the final amount, which is A. So A is equal to 13,080, and N, what is N equal to? N is equal to the number of years, which is 4 years. But remember, this is compounded quarterly. So you are going to multiply by 4. And so this is equal to 16, right? 4 times 4, 16. Now, if you can get I, you are going to get the value of R. Okay? If you can get I, you are going to get the value of R. Okay? So let's plug all the values that we have in there, and then we can try to get I, and from I, we are going to get R. Okay? So let's plug everything in there, and then we can solve for I. So you have A is equal to this. This is equal to P. This is P times in bracket 1 plus I. I is going to be written in decimal if you have I. You don't have I. Remember, I is going to be divided by 4 because you are told compounded quarterly. So you have to divide by 4 your I, right? You close the bracket, and N is equal to 16. Okay, 16. Now let's carry on. You are going to divide by 10,000 on both sides so that you can be left with this part. Okay, you divide by 10,000 on this side, you're going to have this. This is equal to, you divide by 10,000, you are going to be left with this part. Okay, this part. When you divide by 10,000, you are going to be left with this part. Okay, now to get rid of this 16 to the power of 16, you are going to take the 16th root. Okay, the 16th root on both sides so that you can get rid of this. Okay, like this. 16th root on this side and 16th root on the left side so that you can get rid of this. Okay, so you have this, right? This is equal to, now you are left with this because they are going to cancel this, right? You have to the power of 16 and 16th root, they are going to cancel. Now you are left with this, what you have here, 1 plus I over 4, right? 1 plus I over 4. Let's carry on. You can take the 1 to the left. You are going to have this. You take the 1, right? Minus 1. From positive 1 to the left, minus 1. This is equal to I over 4, right? I over 4. This is what you are left with on the right side after taking the 1 to the left side. Okay, now you have to solve for I. You are going to multiply by 4 so that the 4 can cancel. Okay, so what you do on the right, you are going to do it on the left. So you are going to have, when you multiply by 4, the 4 and the 4 are going to cancel. You are going to be left with I equal to, and you have to multiply by 4 even on the left side. So you are going to have this. This is what you have, right? This in bracket, you multiply by 4. So I is equal to, let's plug this in the calculator. I'm going to use my emulator. Okay. So I have this 16 fruit. Let me get my 16 fruit like that. Okay. I hope you can see that. I've got this 0.80 over 10,000. Okay. Minus 1. Okay. Minus 1 is not inside the root sign. Okay. Minus 1 is not inside the root sign. You can see that. You close the bracket. You multiply by 4. Now you have 0.06769. Okay, 0.06769. Okay, 0.06769. 0.06769. Okay, so the percentage, you have to get it in the percentage. Remember, when you put I in there, you have it in decimal. This is what you have in decimal. In percentage, you have to multiply by 100. So this is equal to, when you multiply by 100, you are going to have 6,77 to 2 decimal places, right? 6,77 or 6.77 when you multiply by 100. Okay, so this is 6.77%, right? And so you can see from the question, the interest rate was at R percent. R percent. R, this is R percent. So R is equal to 6.77. Now question 7.2, 7.2 and 7.2.1, right? A businesswoman deposited 9,000 into an account at the end of January 2014. She continued to make monthly deposits of 9,000 at the end of each month up to the end of December 2018. The account earned interest at a rate of 7.5% per annum. Okay, per annum, compounded monthly. Now 7.2.1 calculates how much money was in the account immediately after 60 deposits had been made. Okay, so as I said in the previous question 7.1, when you read this question 7.2, you can see 9,000 is deposited into an account, and the businesswoman continue to make monthly deposits of 9,000. So there is a 9,000 which is deposited at a regular period. Okay, 9,000, 9,000, 9,000 until December 2018. You understand that the formula to use is this one. F is equal to this. This is known as the future value formula. So this is the formula to use. Okay. Now let's get our X, our N, and our I. Okay. X is equal to 9,000, the amount which is being deposited at a regular period of time. So X is equal to 9,000 rand, right? 9,000 rand. And N, the number of payment, you are told that 60 deposits had been made. So you understand that you have 60 payments. Okay, N is equal to 60 payments, right? 60 deposits had been made. So 60 payment. Okay, and I is equal to the interest rate is 7.5% per annum compounded monthly. So I is equal to 0.075. You divide by 100. Okay, you can write as 7.5%, or you can write as 0.075. You divide by 100. Remember, compounded monthly. So you are going to divide your interest rate over 12, right? Compounded monthly. You are going to divide by 12. Now you have X, you have N, you have I. Okay, so you can take this, you plug in there, and you have F, which is the money that was in the account immediately after 60 deposits. Okay, 60 deposits. We don't know if the 60th deposit was on December 2018. We don't know, but you have the number of payment, 60 deposits. Okay, so N is equal to 60 payment. Okay, so F is equal to, you plug what you have there in there, you have this. Okay, you can see you are going to have this plus I. This is I. Okay, you close the bracket. To the power of N, N is equal to 60 minus 1. You close the square bracket over I. I is equal to this. Okay, so plug everything in your calculator and get the answer. Okay, so F is equal to, let me plug this in my emulator. So I have 9,000 there. I've got this 1 plus 0.075 over 12. Close the bracket to the power of 60. Okay, minus 1. Close the bracket over 0.075 over 12. So you have 652,743.95 cents. So this is what you have, 652,743.95 cents when you round off to 2 decimal places. Okay, so in rent. Okay, so this is the amount. that was in the account immediately after 60 payments had been made. Okay, so we are done with this question. Now question 7.2.2. Let me close this. The businesswoman left the amount calculated in 7.2.1 for further n months in the account. The interest rate remained unchanged. Okay, it remained like this, right? The interest rate remained unchanged. It remained like this. Okay, so and no further payments were made. The total interest earned over the entire investment period was this. Determine the value of n. Okay, the value of n. You can understand that we are going to use this formula, the first one, because no payment at a regular period was made. So we are going to use this formula, not this one. You can only use this formula when payments are made. Okay, after a period of time, a payment is made. After a period of time, a payment is made. That's when you can use this formula. But no further payments were made. So the amount is left to grow, left in the account to grow. No further payment is made, but the amount is left to grow. So we are going to use this formula. Okay, let me put down the formula. This is the formula that you are going to use. You understand that we don't need this. Okay, so we are going to start from, you can see the businesswoman left the amount calculated in question 7.2.1. Okay, so our initial amount will be this one. The money is left in the account to grow. So we are going to use this. So P is equal to this. No further payment is made. This is why you don't have to use this formula. You have to use this. We have to get A. We have P, which is this one. What is A equal to? When you read the question, what is A equal to? Question 7. Let me put the question here. Okay, the businesswoman left the amount calculated in question 7.2.1 for further n months in the account. The interest rate remained unchanged and no further payments were made. The total interest over the entire investment period was this. This is not A. You have to be careful. This is not A. You are told that this is the total interest earned over the entire investment. Okay, so this is the interest, the money earned on top of another amount. Okay, so this is not A. Interest means the money earned on top of. Okay, so to calculate A is equal to, you have this 9,000 was deposited. How many times? 60 times. Okay, 9,000 was deposited 60 times. So you have 9,000 times 60. Okay, plus the interest. So this is the final, right? Plus the interest. And so the final amount is equal to, when you plug this in your calculator, what do you get? Okay, let's see. I'm going to use my emulator. You can pause the video and try to use your calculator. Okay, so I have 9,000 times 60 plus this. I've got this. Okay, you can see. Okay, this is what I have. So this is your A, the final amount. Okay, now the question is, determine the value of N. You have to determine N. So you have A, you have P, and I. You are told that the interest rate remained unchanged. Okay, this one, right? Remember, compounded. monthly. So it will be this one. Okay, so I is equal to this, right? Okay, I can close this. Now let's find N. Okay, so I have A, B, I. Now we can find N. So A is equal to this, right? Equal to P. This is P. You have in bracket 1 plus I. This is I to the power of N. Okay, the question is to find N. Okay, let's carry on. I'm going to divide by this on both sides so that I can have this part on its own. I have to divide by this on both sides so that I can have this on its own. So I have this, right? Divide by this. Okay, this is equal to, I divide this by this. I'm going to be left with this. So since N is the exponent, for me to solve for N, I need to bring the N down. I'm going to introduce log on both sides. Okay, log on this side and log on this side. Now I can bring N down because I'm trying to solve for N. So I'm going to have this on the left. This is equal to, I can bring N down times this. Okay, you bring N down times this. Okay, now to solve for N, so I'm going to divide by this, log of this, so that I can have N. So when I divide by this on the right side, I'm going to have N is equal to this divide by this. Okay, so I'm dividing by this, log of this on both sides. On this side, I have N, and on this side, I have this. Okay, you can see this part is this, divide by this, log of 1 plus this. Okay, N is equal to, let's plug this in the calculator. I'm going to use my emulator. Okay, so I have this log of this. Okay, I hope you can follow. You can see that over this 652,743.95. Okay, let me close the bracket, over log of this 1 plus this 0.075 over 12, close the bracket. This is equal to 18. Okay, 18. So 18 maths. Okay, 18 maths, because this was compounded monthly. So you are going to have your answer in maths. Okay, so this is the final answer to question 7.2.2. Okay, we are done with question 7 from May, June 2021. Okay, until next time, I will talk to you soon.